The number 18 UNC Pembroke Braves football team defeated West Virginia State 44-14 in the final road game of the regular season. The 8-1 Braves have a bye this weekend and wrap up the regular season next Saturday at home. The women's soccer team locked up the number 2 seed in the Peach Belt Conference tournament with a goal in the final minute of double overtime Sunday. The victory wraps up a stretch that saw 3 overtime games out of 5 in a 9-day stretch. On the men's side, UNCP is in the Peach Belt Conference tournament this week after a 5-10 regular season with a 3-6 conference mark. UNCP volleyball dropped a pair of weekend contests against Augusta and Georgia College. The final home volleyball match of the season is Wednesday, November 9th at 7 p.m. Swim and dive competed against a Division I Campbell squad, and the Braves held their own. The black and gold was led by Gina Zhang, who tied for first in the 100-meter butterfly and her first time swimming the event this season. Finally, UNCP Wrestling begins its season today, ranked number 20 in the nation. The 36th annual Pembroke Classic runs all day on Lumpy Guarantee Bank Court. The Black and Gold Report starts now. Welcome to another episode of the Black and Gold Report presented by Pepsi, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics. I'm Cameron Songer, and this week we bring you our basketball season preview. We talk to men's basketball coach Ben Miller and women's basketball coach John Haskins about their upcoming seasons. First up, it's UNCP women's basketball coach John Haskins. Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Good to be here, Cameron.
Let's talk about last season a little bit. Your team returns 4 starters from last year's squad that went 10-16. What can you take forward from last year?
Well, I think the first thing is we've had 5 seniors that are coming back in our program that were disappointed with last year and felt like we should have had a better season and are dedicating themselves to have a good season this year. I think in terms of takeaways, we need to be a better team defensively. 2 years ago, we were first in the conference in both field goal percentage defense and scoring defense. We were ranked nationally 6th and 7th in those categories. Last year we were a middle of pack defensive team. So we got to be a better defensive team, number one. I think number two, be more consistent. We had some good games last year, but from game to game we weren't consistent enough on either end of the floor, offensively or defensively. And I think the teams that you see that are successful are pretty consistent night in and night out. So I think those are the 2 takeaways for this year. Number one, our seniors have worked very hard to have a good season and consistency in defense. The
returners are led by senior Janisa Monley, who was 3rd team All-Peach Belt Conference a year ago. What can we expect to see out of her this season? Well,
I think she had an incredible second half of the season where the last 13 games she averaged over 17 points and 11.5 rebounds a game, and that All-Conference was well-deserved. So she had an outstanding year and had worked very hard to put herself in that position. She's coming off knee surgery this summer, and so she's still getting back from that, and hopefully by the time we crank it up for real, she'll be back to her old self. But she's also done a very good job from a leadership role. She's one of those seniors that wants to go out with a very good season this year.
Other returning seniors include guards Jasmine Huntley, Erica Williams. Have they taken on more of a leadership role in their final campaign here?
Yeah, I think they have. Those two, along with Janisa, will kind of be the key leaders on our team. They see the floor a lot, and particularly with Jasmine and with Erica, that they play the point guard position, and they're going to have the ball in their hands, so they need to be vocal leaders. But I think all 3 of those have done a good job thus far in terms of getting the team together, and even way back when they were just playing pickup on their own, doing a good job with leadership.
One of the key newcomers last year was freshman Avery Locklear, who started 25 games in her first season in Pembroke. What do you want to see from her in her sophomore campaign?
Well, I think Avery did an outstanding job last year. Usually you see freshmen kind of hit the wall, about 2/3 of the way through the season because the college season is such a long season. Didn't feel like we saw that with Avery. She led us in minutes played as a freshman, averaged almost 9 points a game. Obviously she's a very good competitor, and we want to continue to see that. And she's one of our better 3-point shooters. So we need her to knock down shots and also be willing to put the ball on the floor and attack the basket.
There are plenty of new faces on this year's Braves team, 6 new players, 2 freshmen, 4 transfers. Who are some of the players we could look to right away to make an impact?
This is a very unique team, and then anybody that's coached the team, you've got some players toward the end of your bench that really, you just don't feel like they're going to play a lot unless you're in a game where you're winning by a lot or you're losing by a lot. We've got a unique situation this year that we've got a roster of 14, and I look up and down the roster, and I think every player in our program can help us be successful. So I think you're going to see a team that plays a lot of players. With that said, I think all the newcomers can help to a certain extent. Blair Silliman is a shooter that we got out of Iowa Central Junior College that has really shot the ball well, made three threes, was 3 for 8 from the three in a scrimmage the other night, scored 11 points. So we think she can help us. Nyla Allen is a very athletic 4 player who came from Guilford Tech. We think she can help her. Brianna Bauman is out of a junior college, and she's a very good guard that can create, was the leading scorer in the region last year. And our other junior college player is Brandy Robinson, who's a post player.
All right, Coach John Haskins, stay right where you are. Braves fans, we need to take our first time out. We'll be back with more women's basketball preview right after this. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. It's our women's basketball season preview with head coach John Haskins. Coach, we talked about the 6 newcomers in terms of the 4 transfers, also 2 freshmen. Who are they and what can they bring to the court?
Well, we're excited about both our freshmen. They both made the East-West All-Star game, the North Carolina All-Star game at the end of the summer, and performed very well. Jillian Ibram is from Greenville Rose High School. She's a wing player, played point guard in high school, but she's a wing that can pretty versatile, can kind of play inside and outside, shoots the ball a little bit, drives it a little bit, is long defensively. Actually, amazing stat is she's probably one of our strongest kids on our team, and that's very unusual for a freshman to come in and be one of the stronger kids on your team. The other is Stephanie Johnson from Union Pines High School, a 6-foot post player. Just got a great feel for the game, got a big, strong body, can pass it out of the post. So I think both those freshmen can make an impact for us this year also.
Turning to the schedule now, it starts on November 14th on the road at Coker. You'll play 8 non-conference games all before the beginning of the new year. What do you hope to get out of the non-conference portion?
Well, the first thing we try to do, because we play in such a good league, we've got to get ready for a high caliber competition. So we play very, very solid teams. We play Wingate every year, which is pretty much a perennial NCAA Division II regional team. Fayetteville State, who's had some very good years basketball-wise. Mount Olive's been very solid. We play Belmont Abbey, we play Coker. So we feel like the non-conference schedule, playing a strong non-conference schedule, helps prepare us for what's going to lie ahead in the Peach Belt.
Yeah, as for the Peach Belt, you said it's a very tough league. You'll play 10 conference home games starting on December 17th against Clayton State. Who are some of the teams to beat in the Peach Belt this year?
It's hard to tell. I think the preseason poll, and I kind of glanced at where we were at, and that's all I looked at. But Lander was picked to win the league. I know that Columbus was up there pretty high. Clayton State's always a very good, very athletic program, usually an NCAA type team. So we'll see. Georgia College is usually good. Aiken and Augusta are good. So there's every night it's going to be a battle, and that's what I talked about earlier about consistency. We just need to be a very consistent team.
This is now your 28th season in the UNC Pembroke Athletic Department. What makes this school and this department special for you?
I was feeling pretty good about myself till you told me I've been here 28 years, but this is just a special place. Came here not knowing a lot about UNC Pembroke, and probably after my 2nd or 3rd year, I think, hey, this is a place that I'd like to stay for my career if that would work out, and so far it has. Just a lot of really good people, a very supportive administration. You get that small college feel within a larger university. It's very people-friendly, it's very student-friendly. And I think we've got a close-knit athletic staff in terms of we support each other. We don't kind of get in our own silos. You worry about your own program, and obviously that's part of the deal, but you keep up with what other teams are doing and support other teams. And the good thing about it also is we teach, so we've got athletes, just students, but we've got athletes from all the other sports in our classes, so helps us keep up with what's going on throughout campus.
You talked about the teams kind of sticking close together. That also applies to your staff. Tell us a little bit about your assistants.
Well, Kapika Davis has been with me since I've been the women's head coach. She was, when I gave up the men's job the year after she came in, and was 2 years as a grad assistant for the previous coach. You know, I noticed her. I watched her in practice because I used to go watch both teams practice. And when Coach Littleton stepped down and I moved into the women's coaching position, I decided I wanted to hire Coach Davis, and she's been fantastic. You know, I feel like we're more co-head coaches than head coach and assistant coach. Joey Autry's helped us the last couple of years, who's been an outstanding, not only coach but person to have in our program and influence on our kids. And then we've got Ty Wallace, who's a grad assistant, and Donald Bohannon, who is a grad assistant this year. So we've been blessed to get a couple of grad assistants this year who've helped our program out.
Before we let you go, Coach, wanted to give you a chance to talk to Brave Nation, talk about the importance of creating that home court advantage on Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court, especially during the tough Peach Belt Conference schedule.
One thing we talk to about recruits all the time is they walk in our gym and say, look, this may not be the biggest YU facility in the league. I said, but this is the best home court advantage in the league. And I said, we get great crowds, you know, we get great community support, we get great student body support, we get great faculty and staff support. It's a great home court advantage, and I would just invite all the fans out there to come watch the men's and women's basketball teams and support us, because it really helps us out.
Coach John Haskins, thanks for stopping by. Good luck this season. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Cam.
When we come back on the Black and Gold Report, our basketball season preview continues with the men's team, so stay tuned.